all the panelists who spoke today. And we have around 10 minutes for questions and comments if anybody would like to ask a question.
Please move the microphones as required, okay?
Just three things that came up during panel discussion that I would like to address personally. One that I think is absolutely critical for people to understand is that the circumstances under which people were receiving funding through this law were both exceptional and extraordinary. Okay, it didn't apply to just everyone. It wasn't going on just willy-nilly that they were handing this stuff out. It took me 7 months of fighting, and with the support of Dow Legal Aid and a legal appeal and challenge to actually win what I needed, despite the fact that my doctors and physiotherapists said that it was absolutely essential for me to have this. So, you know, I don't want it out there that the department was just handing out gym memberships and things along those lines, because that's not what the case was. It was exceptional and extraordinary circumstances. And the people like myself who were affected by this, who have to have these things, are the people who are going to pay. A year and a half ago, I could hardly even move. Because of physiotherapy, I'm able to do so much more today. But I couldn't stay in physiotherapy forever. And Dr. Casey's point is another one that I had on my list. This is further taxing health care if they discontinue this. It's $70 a visit for a physiotherapist. My gym membership is $535 a year. Do the math. It just doesn't work out. And the third thing that I want to say is just a general comment, and I'm hoping Fiona and Dow Legal Aid will support me in this, but I personally would like to file a human rights challenge to the changing of this law. Because I'm sorry, but this is a human rights violation to take people who are disabled and further discriminate against them and make it impossible for them to live a healthy and productive life.
Are there any other questions or comments?
I actually have a question. So in April's case, and I'm just trying to read this and make sense of the legalese in here. April, in your case, and maybe someone else can answer this, you had this assistance prior to these changes.
Yes.
Has your assistance for massage therapy now been cut off? Or I'm kind of reading it, it almost looks like if it was in place before, then you're not going to lose it. Is that a correct interpretation?
That's correct. The wording is if you're receiving the benefit as of last Monday, when this change went into effect, there will be a grandparenting of that. However, for any future needs, and I think April's thinking about other aspects of her health care, or for other individuals who may find themselves in the same position as April and require this kind of service, it won't be available under this program. And by definition, people who were seeking help from this program had exhausted every other possibility. So as Dr. Casey has pointed out, this leaves people with zero options.
Okay, but just so that I understand, so if you received it prior to the change, you will continue to receive it?
Yes, if you were receiving it as of last Monday, you're okay, you're grandparented. So that'll help a certain small number of people who are, you know, in that lucky situation where they were actually getting it prior to the change.
And the other side of it is, if massage therapy, it gets to a point where it's not helping April and she needs something new, then it's a whole new process if it's not already covered.
Well, that's right. You say a whole new process, but if she needed something different and it wasn't on a list somewhere, if she's described her condition as being fairly distinct, fairly unique, then she's going to be, again, with one of those people with zero options, because she will have exhausted every other option, and there will be this piece of the special needs program no longer exists, the one that has assisted her.
Okay.
I think, Paul, you wanted to make a comment?
Sure, I just want to make a comment about people who are grandparented in. The same was established back in 2000 when the province took over all welfare responsibility. They said that people would be grandparented in, and their, particularly the disabled community, benefits weren't cut. like they introduced new policies that reduce welfare by about 20%. Well, the grandparenting program is limited in that instance, and I assume in this one too, so as long as things don't change. I spoke to a client yesterday who was contemplating a move into social housing, and she was told that if she moved, her circumstances changed, therefore the grandparenting would not stay intact. Because your circumstances have changed, you're now the same as reapplying to something new, and you risk losing the benefits you have living in the situation you are now. So she's living in an apartment building that's a craft house, and she wants to move into a seniors unit, but she risks doing that, losing some of her special need benefits that she's receiving. So those people that are like April, who are in the circumstance that they are now, if April moves, she's going to risk losing the benefits that they are telling her she's grandparented. So I'd be very cautious about assuming that grandparenting is going to maintain benefits.
I just wanted to make a comment onto that. I used to do research for on the Employment Support and Income Assistance program in Nova Scotia, and had the privilege of working with the women's centers and meeting with 115 women